Hi, my name is Damon Williams. I'm a casting director for Forti films. Casting is so important because, the job of the casting director is to find the best talent, is to find skilled talent that has the look that the director wants, that can be worked with, so that when you're on set, there's no problems. You do the job, you get the scene done, and you step out and you're done with it. There's so many other delays and problems with production that just occur. You never want to have an actor cause additional problems. I think it's pretty important that before a project actually moves forward, the director and the casting director sit down, and potentially the producer as well, and the director let the casting director know his vision or her vision of the film. And especially the lead characters. The smaller characters aren't necessarily as important, but the lead characters, 99% of the time, the director has a vision of what each one of those characters are, whether it's physical or emotional. A good casting director, in my opinion, obviously is critical, and allows a director to have someone that's professionally oriented and understands the most efficient way and the best way to get actors on tape, to allow the director to get as many different choices and potentially the best cast for his actual project. I think it's pretty important that before a project actually moves forward, the director and the casting director sit down, and potentially the producer as well, and the director let the casting director know his vision or her vision of the film. And especially the lead characters. The smaller characters aren't necessarily as important, but the lead characters, 99% of the time, the director has a vision of what each one of those characters are, whether it's physical or emotional, or characteristics of them, even personality traits that person may have, especially if they're casting an actor that's to portray someone else that has specific traits. So discussions with the casting director are very critical. After that, what happens is we'll break down the script, preferably a final version, but if it's not, that's okay. We can always adapt it, and break down the script into individual characters, and then the casting director will release a breakdown. And that breakdown will go to all the agents and managers that are representing actors. And one of the nice things I believe that a casting director does for a director is weeds out the actors that aren't right. They're too tall, too short, don't have the proper facial structures, actors that don't have the skill sets for potentially a lead actor, doesn't have the chops, as we call it, and kind of weeds out all of the people that are definite no's, that just aren't going to work. Sides are chosen by taking the actual script in most cases and picking out either the most difficult or the most memorable scene from that script for that character. Usually it's a difficult one, it's a monologue, it's something that will really challenge an actor to make sure that the actor has the acting chops to pull off that scene. And if that's the most difficult scene, all the other scenes more than likely won't be a problem. So you always want to push them as far as you can in terms of the sides to make sure that they have the ability to do the most difficult scenes. Now, once the first round of auditions are complete, the director has a choice. And the director can either look at the auditions on tape and have callbacks from there, meaning the director denotes to the casting director which actors the director would like to see in the callbacks, or the director can trust in the casting director to pick out the actors that have the highest skill sets and have the best look in relation to what the director is wanting for the roles. And that's a decision the director has to make. Casting directors are good either way. Once that happens, you have callbacks. The actors are brought in, and it's been reduced from thousands of actors down to maybe 10 or 15 choices for each role, and sometimes it's only 5 or 6 choices for the lead, something that's very strong, talented actors that can support and carry the role. So during the callbacks, it's usually preferred that the director and or the producer are involved, because what can happen is you'll have feedback from the director or from the producer and allow the actor to refine their delivery of the audition, of the sides, to see whether or not they're able to adapt it to what the director wants. You know, they can listen to feedback, they can adapt their technique, their acting technique, to exactly what the director wants. I mean, there are a lot of skilled actors out there that get locked into what they're doing, into something, and when a director says, hey, I'd like you to change this and do a little nuance of it, they may or not have that ability. And I think that's critical, that the director is there to make sure that they have the ability, and you know, potentially that you can work with this actor and want to work with them. I mean, there are times you'll spend months on set working with these individuals, and then you need to be able to enjoy working with them. It should be fun. It should be, you know, something that's you enjoy and you like. And after that, after the callbacks, which can be one or two or sometimes a third callback, and continually reduce it down, then it's up to the director and maybe the producer, depending on their relationship, as to which actor they would like to offer the role to. And from there, the director tells the casting director, we would like to offer this actor this role at this rate. And the casting director writes a deal memo, sends it to the agent of the actor, and basically from there negotiates it. The agent will a lot of times come back and ask for something more, maybe a little more money, or private trailer, or may have some stipulations in the contract. If there's a nudity clause, they may require a nude double, or makeup and hair, or something like that. And once those nuances are negotiated, and of course everything just goes through the casting director. The casting director usually doesn't make the choices on the larger roles. The small ones, the casting director has a little bit more option and a little bit more control, because the smaller roles usually aren't worth the director and the producer's time to really do. They're one-liners or day players. So as long as it's someone that's a skilled actor, you know, they're good. But after that, the offer, the deal memo is accepted, and from then the casting director passes on the contact information of the actor to the production company, and from there the casting director's pretty much done. The only time a casting director would step in after that is if there were issues with the actor on set, or they needed to cast someone new or replacement, or potentially if the script was changed and something new was added.